Welcome people, morning again, afternoon, evening, or good night, depending on where you're watching or at the time that you're watching. Right? So we cover all our bases. That's what we do here, we try to cover all the bases. Alright? Remember, it's very important. Hit that subscribe button. Let's continue to grow. We've gone over 1,000 subscribers now, which is fantastic. So I want to big up everybody who subscribed to the channel. And I want to big up everybody who is sharing the content. And we will keep giving you good quality analysis. Alright. So the Mount Pleasant situation now. There's still a situation at Mount Pleasant. But before we tell you about the current situation at Mount Pleasant, we're going to just go back. We're going to go back for a little bit so you can get an understanding of what happened before. So Mount Pleasant hired Tappa Whitmore 2 years ago. Paul Christie was also hired 2 years ago. So Paul Christie and Tappa Whitmore were brought in at the same time. And Paul Christie was brought in first. So Paul Christie was a part of the decision to hire Tappa Whitmore. Yeah? So Paul Christie would have to get credit for that. Some of the credit for that. As the director of football for Mount Pleasant, Tappa was hired under his watch. Back-to-back finals, never been to a final before, and in 2 years with Tappa Whitmore, they went to 2 finals. Winning one and losing the other on penalty. You can't really too pressure a coach for losing on penalties. Yes, you could say, yo, our team stronger, better, deeper, we still lost. Big up Cavalier who be defeated them on penalties. Good young team, and Roller Speed has improved significantly. One time Roller Speed couldn't coach enough people. You see, remember them time when Cavalier got relegated, another time, them time Roller Speed couldn't coach. I was a man who said, this man run the club besides him coach the club. Him really can't coach. He couldn't coach. But whatever he did, whatever courses he went on to develop himself as a coach, there is no two ways about it that Roller Speed is a much... Listen, I mean, as Roller Speed didn't know anything about football, that's not what I'm saying. But he just wasn't a high-quality Premier League coach to that level. No, he is, clearly. If you look at what he's doing. Alright? So big up Roller Speed for that. Now, care how old you are, you can improve in whatever field you're in. And that's what Roller Speed is. Because Roller Speed was a former footballer, and has been in football, so he understands football. But in terms of understanding to coach and get the best out of people, tactical, adjusting in games and all of that, he has improved significantly. So once again, big up Roller Speed for that. So they beat the man them. Tappa Whitmore contract was not renewed. Rumor had it that they were going to offer Davian Ferguson the job, as the head coach, That's what rumors. Can't confirm that. And he said, no, Tappa brought me in, gave me the opportunity, and we're leaving with Tappa. They're not renewing Tappa, I'm not staying. So Tappa was not renewed. Harold Thomas was brought in. Immediately I questioned that decision. The arguments that was putting forward, me know say them are nonsense. In a previous video I said the lie detector. I lie them at them. Them do something never right. We understand now that there were some disagreements between the director and Theodore Tappa Whitmore. And because now they didn't win now, because if they had won the final, director couldn't go to the owner and say anything to the owner, The owner would have said, oh, I may win back to back. I can't have to renew this man. This man I win back to back. What are you asking him for? So because of that, even though it's technically the wrong decision, obviously that they made, he didn't win, so he could make that decision, or he could bring it up to the owner. That is Paul Christie. So they were not getting along at all. So him get the opportunity, now that they lost, to recommend Tappa to go. And Harold Thomas would not have been a hard sell because he was already at Mount Pleasant in the youth development aspect of it. And obviously, I unfairly said he didn't. The last time he coached in the Premier League, there was nothing to write home about. But he actually took Dunbeholden to the final, where they lost to Aberview. And they played some pretty good football. So maybe I was being a little bit too harsh when I said that. Alright? So it wasn't a difficult sell by Christie to the owner. So me wouldn't necessarily say it's a friend thing, you know. I maintain say, I don't know if it's a friend thing. They must say a friend thing and they want to give friend Harold Thomas the work. I wouldn't say it's a friend thing because he would be friend with Harold Thomas from where? I'm not a big friend with Harold Thomas from nowhere. They may grew up together. They may work in a plethora of places together. He just worked with him at Dunbeholden and he did well. But the main reason is that Christie and Tappa nah get along. They nah get along. But because the decision was such a ridiculous one, and it was always in the back of your mind, you know, when you make the decision in the back of your mind, is this the right choice? Is this the right choice? So you want to fix it quickly. So they embarrass Harold Thomas. God, it must have been embarrassing to fire me after one game. That is just ridiculous. Firing a coach after one competitive game is silly. It's nonsensical. However, the reason why it happened is because obviously the owner never wanted to fire Tappa in the first place. So it's when you make a decision where you never really want to make, you know, it leads you to another silly decision, you know. And I'm saying silly in the context of it not logical to fire a man after the first game. So that I'm coming from that standpoint. Alright? But the man realized that he never wanted Tappa in the first, but when he must see what I go on, he must say, wait, what me do? He must see friendly, he must have see pre-season and all of that. So in him back of his mind. So as him see the performance, he must say, you know, say, come Tappa. Because the owner wants success, the owner wants to do well in the region. And as I said in a previous video, it's a no-brainer as to which one of the two managers is more likely to do well in regional football, meaning CONCACAF, Caribbean. Tappa has that experience at the international level. No-brainer there. So it's not a friend thing, because I see people in the comment section in the other video say, a friend thing make Harold Thomas. No. Paul Christie and Tappa Whitmore just wasn't seeing eye to eye. Now, Tappa is back. Remember, Davian Ferguson, who was Tappa assistant, got a head coach role, you know. And I understand, say, Davian was getting very close to $500,000 from Portmore United for that job. Let me repeat, Davian Ferguson was getting reported close to $500,000 a month at Portmore. Then if you're going to leave Portmore and go be back assistant, how much you might get, so? Because me not left my big head coach role with that amount of money if you go turn assistant. Unless, even, not for 100,000 more. So Davian Ferguson kitty nice, I know. Anybody in a football will make money big up. Would I love if 12 clubs could have pay players and pay coaches like the way Mount Pleasant is doing. It would encourage more people to want to become more intelligent people, to want to go into football and want to help the development of football. It would be even help our cause more going forward as a football playing nation. So we love that. We love that. That's one of the things that has been lacking in our football. We always have the passion and the numbers. The most popular sport by some distance in Jamaica is football. It's played more in the community than any other sport. It's more interesting, it's more discussed, everything. We're more passionate about football than any other sport. So we should be doing better at it. And money can help. So big up all the coaches, because a lot of coaches we are coaching are just do it because they like football and they don't really have the requisite skill set and the brain to do it. So now if more money in it, then more people who love it and have the brain, then they are going at the banking system and going at other systems. They're going to become coaches who want that sort of intelligence in the coaching arena to help with the development. So we love it. We love it. But that must some big money. I'm not sure if Portmore United was compensated, because you kind of look away, you know, from a professional standpoint, or your contract was renewed, I offered you a job, you accepted the job, and before even the season started, you left the job. So it would be important if Portmore United was compensated, because it don't look professionally good from Davian Ferguson's standpoint. Alright? But may I say, money are run down at Mount Pleasant. The money is sweet. That's why I know how people are telling Tappa say, "Must go back." You're mad. You're mad. Oh. Alright. So that is the real issue that is going on. That was the real issue overall. But what I understand so right now is that Tappa no forgive Paul Christie. So we're not hearing much from Paul Christie. Paul Christie normally very outspoken, does a lot of interviews when he's called upon to explain issues. He's there. We're not seeing Paul Christie in the public domain really. So clearly it looked like him get a shot in his face, not literally, people. Not literally. Let's get that straight. So maybe he's kind of embarrassed that his decision to hire Earl Thomas was quickly dismissed by the owner. Because when Tappa contract was renewed in Paul Christie, it was all over the media telling us why, telling us the hogwash, because it was hogwash, people. I'm not going to tell it straight. But he was still explaining why. It means he was a part of the decision and he was confident. He was the main guy who made that decision to bring in Earl Thomas and not renew Tappa. So, me understand the Tappa not forgiving Paul Christie at all, and that is one of the sticking points right now. That is one of the sticking points down there right now. Tappa no want work with the director of football, Paul Christie. So what is going to happen? Tappa has already been renewed, or not renewed, been brought back. What is going to happen to Paul Christie? Will you see a resignation from him soon? Will you see a firing from him soon? Or we take a war, we take a work. But that's still going down there right now. But Mount Pleasant is like a soap opera, people. A real soap opera. It is unheard of for a coach to coach one competitive game and get fired. Nowhere else in the world may I hear that. A new coach as well. So put that in it, a new coach. Because yes, a owner can have issues with a coach the season prior to. And then after the first game of the current season, say, you know what, enough is enough. So you would have had problems with you before. Before. But this is a new coach coaching the team for the first time. And after one game, me never see that happen nowhere in my life of watching football. Real drama that. You go back for the old coach. The old coach go back for him assistant who was already in a head coach role, getting a nice food, and him come back real soap opera. But what is going to happen to Paul Christie? Will himself and Tappa bury the hatchet and work together? Or will we see Paul Christie departing Mount Pleasant? These, though, are merely my views. And now, as always, what say you?